Hey guys, Ferret here, and yes, finally back here. So, sorry for being inactive, but of course, if you watched my previous video, you know what's been going on. It's all more or less sorted now, but I've also been trying to manage other YouTube channels as well as my schoolwork keeping me busy, so... And I only have a month until my GCSE exams commence, and they last for about a month or so, so I will be busy, but I'll try and manage my hectic schedule and to provide some content for you guys, as I never realised after taking up with my teachers that whilst it's important, I can't really let my academic life be my only life. I've got to balance this life, my YouTube life, and my social life as well. So I hope you understand with that, guys. So basically today's commentary is going to be about mistakes. We all know we make mistakes, so where do we draw the line of what's a mistake and what's worth forgiving? So it's this recent context that made me want to make this commentary, and so we're going to take this context with me and some friends here. I'm not going to dispute names out of decency and for privacy reasons, but basically there's our group of friends and another group who we have our differences and tensions are rather high, let's say. So basically one person made a false allegation against another that's in our group, so our group made a group chat and started bitching about the other, you know, like people do, which many people do before realising how wrong it actually is. And because of course we didn't take that too well, I doubt anybody would. Now, these people to me, they say and do things that I don't agree with personally, and let's just say that it generally involves taboo subjects, and they can often take things that others say out of context. So, obviously I don't really think very highly of them as of that. I mean, I'm not trying to be bitchy or anything about that, but I just don't agree with that. Basically somebody who's kind of friends, you know, with both groups, and again I'm not going to name them, basically they kind of wanted to make a bit of peace, so they just try to let split what was going on, and they kind of informed them, and it just kind of kicked off again. And so basically one day one person posted on their Facebook timeline that somebody threatened to rape him, so I posted in this group chat in retaliation. Who'd rape that? You know, just in retaliation. And so when this person found out, they had a screenshot, so somebody had obviously given it to him. This person had claimed that I said rape was funny to myself, and that they said it was good to know that I found rape amusing, which I never actually said. The joke was never about rape as a subject, or the subject of rape, it was about the person. The idea was that nobody would want to go near her. That was the joke. Even if it was wrong, which it was. But beside the point, you know, that's not what I made the joke about, it was about something else. And so they constantly tried to reaffirm this allegation, so I ended up blocking them. It wasn't the end of it, however, though, as they just started messaging and eventually harassing me through other people's accounts. So to put an end to, well, bitching for a better word, after long consideration I deactivated my Facebook, and to be honest I had been considering it for a while anyway, because I just don't have as much use for it anymore. So what does this have to do with mistakes, some of you might be asking? Well, for a start, I certainly shouldn't have made the comment I did, and in turn I shouldn't have let my anger control me as I did, which caused me to do so in the first place. Even if I still think very low of this person or very high of this person, I should never have, you know, allowed one emotion to control me. Secondly, we should always be careful, not only what we say, but who we say it to. I mean, I have no doubt this person who kind of broke the trust of it only had the best of intentions, and to some degree I would have thought I would have considered doing the same, because we was trying to resolve things since they are friends with both groups. But in the end it did only cause more chaos, and you know, it kind of just imploded it. You kind of had to take that chance, I suppose. But even so, knowing this, it wasn't appropriate to say what we did about this person's friends, or what they were potentially saying about us, you know. So it mustn't have been a nice position to be in, so I do understand in that respect, even if I am still a little bit, you know, I'm a very soft guy. So anyways, but that also doesn't condemn, you know, what the other side did either. Like, no one in this is innocent. I mean, I've already mentioned what these people can be like in my eyes before. I'm not trying to create a massive jaded thing, but like, it was false claims of such taboo subjects like rape and taking things out of context. It can be seen as slander, you know, pure and simple. I mean, slander doesn't only affect those who the claims are made against, but because it's also total bogus, it can severely affect and even backfire on those who made the claim to start with. I mean, taboo subjects are not things to be mocked or fashionised at all, or said anything about, and that's not what anyone was trying to intentionally do, I don't think. But like, say, but it could be extremely offensive. Part of the dispute was, you know, fashionising self-harm to us. That's how it appeared to us, and it can be extremely offensive to people like me who struggled, or who I have close friends or family members who struggle with it. You know, matters like self-harm and suicide. I mean, around this time it would have been about, yep, 3 years ago that I lost one of my best friends. So, and again, it was only a year ago recently that I lost another one. So, you know, it's a very it's a very messed up subject. So I'm not going to try and linger on it. So I'm going to admit, whilst I'm probably overreacting, it's no more over the top than what they were implying. When you know, what they're implying that I was saying, and whether it's harassment or not is a whole new level. But it's still lower than, you know, it's still as low as maybe I was being, if not lower. And so, regardless of how justified it might have seemed to someone. And so, relating back to mistakes, honestly guys, save yourselves the drama. If there's people you don't agree with, try and go the right way about it, or even a different way, because one person's wrong, maybe another person's right, if applied to the correct context. Think about what you say before you say or type it, and think about who or what you're saying things about, and when it is and when it isn't appropriate to say anything. I mean, if you want to say anything, you know, something you feel strongly about, well then stand up and stand up for what's right. I'm not saying don't, but you know, just take into consideration everything before you say something. But honestly, if you've got a very good understanding and a good idea, go for it. You know, stand up for what you believe in. But back to it. So by the same token, just always try and take into account how you might make others feel about certain matters, even if it doesn't seem like a big deal to you, because to someone else it might be a huge deal. I mean, claiming things that simply aren't true and taking something out of context and trying to turn it to suit your views or ideals is wrong. You know, it might have seemed like that to you, but that's not what, you know, it might have seemed that way to somebody, but that's not what I was implying, or anything. The joke, you know what I'm saying, it was just a stupid little comment about someone when I was angry. But I never actually intended to even, well no, I never actually said a joke about the subject, did I? But I never intended for anyone to view it like that either. But obviously somebody could, so just think about that. But apart, you know, that's what I've got to say on that end of the spectrum. And so, that's an easy example of a mistake I, amongst others, have made recently as well. Some who I honestly just don't get along with, and you're not going to be able to make peace with everyone. But like a mistake one of them, for example, made was refusing a chance to forgive and move on when I tried to apologise. I mean, they're only hurting themselves and more people in doing so, and it's just creating a circle of conflict. So in hindsight, every one of us has made a mistake, and that's what matters. I mean, thankfully some of us can see ours, and unfortunately others just can't see and admit theirs. But in conclusion, I'm sorry if this commentary comes across as a bit patronising, which I can assure you is not my intention at all. Instead, reflect on anything that may have caused conflict, not only for others, but importantly for yourself. There may be that one thing, looking back, that you shouldn't have said, or something that you regret doing. But also, mistakes don't necessarily stem from something as hectic or complicated as this. It could be something as simple as that time you brushed off going to the doctors after that fall. Now you're in pain, so you should have gone. Or hell, it could have been something as ridiculous as when you didn't take a shower before you went on that date, and now the girl doesn't want to talk to you because you stink like rancid monkey fuck! Sorry. But anyway, so yeah, everyone can come back from mistakes, they just have to allow themselves to. So remember that, I'm going to say that again. Everyone can come back from mistakes, they just have to allow themselves to. Thanks for watching and listening, guys. I hope you enjoyed the commentary as well as the gameplay, of course. You know, both from COD Advanced Warfare and Blacklight Retribution, which I'll make a separate video about because I think it's a great game. So yeah, a bit of a downer of a subject for a commentary, but there's always going to be a hell of a lot more fun stuff to come. So I will see you later.